So today we're going to be ranking SEO tools. I am joined with Julian.
Yeah.
And basically, we have a list of, I believe, 18 different tools that we're going to essentially rank from different categories. I will run through the categories very, very quickly so everybody does understand every single category. So we have got GOAT, greatest of all time. We've got class. We have OK. We have meh. And we have avoid. So avoid at all costs. It'd probably be better just burning your money instead of actually buying the tool. But let's get things started with phrase.io. What's your thoughts on that?
I'm going to put it in the OK section. It was amazing when the lifetime deal came out and it was super cheap on AppSumo. And even to this day, I'll still use it sometimes. But would I sign up for a new subscription? Paid? Nah, I don't think so. Not these days.
Yeah, I think one thing that I do like about phrase.io is the fact that you it has like really good questions. So whenever you're writing the content and stuff like that, it extracts really good questions. I would probably say it's maybe for the questions at one point. I would definitely say it might even be better than Surfer SEO. But what do you think of SEMrush?
Controversial one. I'm not. Do you know? I could never lock in the habit of using SEMrush. I've always
Yeah,
stuck to Ahrefs, so I'm going to put it in the OK section.
I think. Do you know what I would maybe even go as? Yeah, all right. I'll probably agree with okay.
What are you going to
And
do then?
I was gonna say meh, and the only reason why I was gonna do that is because a lot of people think that the disavow tool is great on that, and it's actually not. Actually, do you know what? I'm going with meh. We're locking it in at meh, right? Because a lot of people have messed up their websites just blindly believing the disavow section. That being said, it does have a lot of good features. So, like for example, the keywords that it extracts are pretty decent. The backlinks is less than Ahrefs. So just bear that in mind if you are doing any form of disavows. It's never even accurate to begin with. It does have a lot of features. It does do SEO technical audits and stuff like that. I would probably say it's kind of like they've kind of tried to do everything, and they aren't really an expert in one thing. That's my personal thoughts. What do you think?
Yeah, the other thing I found was like the toxic links section. Like, usually a lot of those links are not toxic, but it will say they are, and then it confuses all the newbies who have no idea about link building. Like, oh, I've got loads of toxic links, and they go into panic mode. It's like,
Yeah.
no, no, just chill, mate. Just chill.
I've done so many consultation calls with people that have had toxic links in what SEMrush thinks is toxic, and they've just ruined their website just by blindly listening to SEMrush.
Crazy for that. Crazy for that.
Yeah.
You can't really do that algorithmically. Like, you just got to manually check.
What about let's go to Neuron Writer because you've used it quite a lot. I actually haven't. So what's your thoughts on it?
I think if you're getting it on the lifetime deal, he's kind of in between OK and class because like lifetime deal, super cheap. I wouldn't use it for writing content, but I would use it for content outlines, and it's probably my go-to tool simply because crazy cheap on the lifetime deal, does all the entities and the outlines for you, everything's semantically optimized. I wouldn't use it for content. What are you saying?
I've never used it, so I can't really comment on this one personally.
Right.
Um, so I'll let you be the judge.
I want to put it in the class section because it needs to be above phrase.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So then we have got Screaming Frog. This is like, I think that this is probably if somebody came to me and said you can only pick 5 tools, I think Screaming Frog would probably be one of the 5 tools that I would do that I would pick. It's a From a technical SEO point of view, especially if I'm working on bigger sites, let's say it's a big client site or whatever, it's definitely one of the go-to tools. And it's like, one thing I would say about Screaming Frog and just technical SEO, a lot of people think they need to do a technical SEO audit every 4 days. And it's like, well, nothing's really changed from the last time you've done your previous technical SEO audit. So I think it's more of like a 90-day thing, and you kind of like you're just fixing stuff. So it's like, all right, I've within the past 3 months or within the past 90 days, I've uploaded, let's say, 90 articles, um, and I've built these links and I've done these internal links and stuff like that. Let's just see if the team's messed up anywhere. So it's kind of like just making certain that the team are scaling the website in the correct manner, without any technical SEO issues. What would you say?
Never used it, so I'll
Right.
let you
Okay.
be the judge. Yeah.
All right, perfect. So yeah, go. Let's go with Ubersuggest.
I'm gonna put it in the avoided category. I think if you want a free tool like a, I don't want to say it, but I do want to say it, like a poor man's Ahrefs, then it's probably there. But if you're an agency or you're doing SEO for a lot of sites, don't get. I'm not going to get my data from Ubersuggest.
Ubersuggest, from my experience, and you might have used it more frequently than me, but Ubersuggest is, it looks like it's a spinner. Like you put in any keyword and it comes back with the exact same questions every single time, and sometimes it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, you could
Have you?
probably do that on Claude. Claude
Yeah.
AI.
Yeah, you probably could. But the thing is, I could understand why they've built that tool, because it's kind of like a lead magnet for their SEO agency. Because a lot of people would follow that blindly, not get any results. And then in, let's say, 2 or 3 months' time, they were going to get an email saying, oh, by the way, we can see that you've signed up to Ubersuggest. Do you want us to do the SEO? And I guarantee a lot of people would. I end up actually signing up to Neil Patel's actual SEO agency.
Yeah, I think Neil Patel actually, like the owner of that tool, is genius level. But
Yeah.
the tool itself, I'm not going to use. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go with Ahrefs.
Ahrefs, I would put it in the GOAT tier. It's the only tool I would pay $1,000 a month for, which I actively do right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to agree. Like, the thing is, they know that like they're the best tool. It's kind of like the girl that knows she's really fit. So like, if you actually like go up to her and try speaking to her, she'll just like try and like palm you off. It's kind of like that. Ahrefs gives me the same vibes. So it's like, yeah, they can up their credits, they can do whatever they want. You just kind of need to take it.
Yeah,
Um,
that's so true. I actually got palmed off by them a couple of times. Came, like in different ways, asking for discounts or asking for even I think sponsorship in my videos a while back,
yeah.
and I just get palmed off every time, like the hot girl.
The thing is, I can understand like from a, because a lot of people would be watching this and they're like, me and Julian are probably doing ourselves a disservice here, because there's probably a lot of people or a lot of tools here that would probably sponsor our YouTube channels, and we've just fired them in the avoid or the mail or whatever, right? But for Ahrefs, it probably doesn't make that much sense to actually sponsor like myself or Julian, because they've probably got like the email for every single SEO ever. Probably, like, I mean, maybe not ever, but like they've probably their email list is easily 80,000 people, probably, like, or like 80% of the entire SEO industry. So it's like, for that extra 20%, it just wouldn't make sense for them to sponsor our YouTube channels. But that aside, they are one of the better tools. Pitchbox,
Go, I
really?
put go on here. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just the amount of backlinks that we've built with Pitchbox, I would say that our agency couldn't run without it in many ways.
Yeah, I would agree. One thing that I would say is I would have probably either put it in class or in, like what you said, Go. We obviously do the exact same thing. We use Pitchbox for outreach and stuff. That being said, if you are just starting out in SEO, Pitchbox is pretty expensive for what you need. I would maybe go down the route of like a hunter.io. I think that hunter.io is pretty decent as well. And it's a cheaper alternative. It's a little bit more of a manual work. Like you still need to like warm up your own emails. You still need to actually send the emails. Pitchbox kind of does all of that for you. So I think that hunter.io in the class category. Would you agree with me?
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah, yeah, good tool. That's what I started off with when it came to my link building agency, and then yeah, obviously once you get to a certain amount of clients, you want to upgrade to something like Pitchbox.
Yeah, I think just so if anybody else is watching, Hunter.io, you don't necessarily just need to use it for links. You could even just use it for outreach to business owners. Like you can just get a list of emails of like, I don't know, search the top 10 best law firms in New York and get every single email that's like the managing director of that company and stuff like that. And it just works on Hunter.io. Um, let's go with Keyword Chef. What's your thoughts?
Used it once. It's okay. It's okay. I wouldn't. I think I used it once, paid for the premium subscription, didn't find it crazy useful to the point where I pay for it every month.
I think that Keyword Chef is class. And I will tell you the reason why, as to why I think it's class, right? So, first of all, the pricing is like super cheap. Like, you can get like $30 worth of, or $30 worth of credits, and it's probably gonna, it'll be enough for like maybe two medium sized websites, I would probably say. And it also does the Google drop down when you're doing keyword research. So you could either manually do this yourself, like lawyers for space, and then it could be like lawyers for asylum seekers, lawyers for dentists, lawyers for accountants, lawyers for taxi drivers, whatever else, right? Keyword Chef is like one of the only tools that I know of that automates that. So I'm gonna put it in class, mate. I'm putting it in class. Um, what about
Okay.
keyword? Go on.
What about something like, for example, answer the public though? Can't that already do it?
Yes, but I again think Answer the Public. To be fair, Answer the Public isn't in this. It didn't even make the tiered list, mate. But I think that Answer the Public is more so like a spinner again. I feel like it's very much like Ubersuggest. It doesn't swap out all the actual questions. What's your thoughts?
I think it does like lawyers for example, for free. Like, but it will map it all out for the whole alphabet for free.
All right. Okay. I'm going to take your word.
That's why I'm putting keyword chef in. Okay, but I'm
I'll
open
take
to
your word for it.
anything.
I'll take your word for it. But like Ben's done a good job with Keyword Chef, I think. If this was my tiered list, it would be in the class
You
section
can
because
move
I
it in the
think it's
class if you want. I don't.
no,
I don't
it's
mind
fine,
having
it's
it in
fine.
the class.
I'm a man. I'm a man of democracy. So the next one, Keyword Cupid. Keyword Cupid, for anybody that doesn't know, it's like a keyword grouping tool. Kind of like clusters all the keywords. So, for example, if you ever run a content gap on Ahrefs, you can extract the keywords and import it into Keyword Cupid, and it will tell you like these 10 keywords need to be on this page, these 5 keywords need to be on this page. Kind of just groups all the keywords and tells you how many pages you actually need on your site. But where would you put Keyword Cupid?
When I think I've used it once and it was okay. It was okay. It didn't blow me away.
I think the so I'll agree with you here. I think it's in the okay category. Two things that it maybe not overcomplicates because there's no other tool that does it, but it can be very hard to understand the UI. And I know that they've spent a lot of money redesigning the UI, making it better and stuff like that. But I still think it's very complicated, especially if you're like a beginner. If you're somebody advanced, this is probably maybe even in the class category. But let's say if you're just an overall beginner. Keyword Cupid can be super advanced because it does agglomerative clustering. and it basically just spits out a lot of data in a sheet. So for somebody that's just starting out in SEO, it can be very overwhelming. But some of the more advanced people, I think that Keyword Cupid's probably like one of the go-to clustering tools. But let's go to Jasper.ai.
Personally, I'm going to put it in the avoid section.
Why is that?
I think they've not. I don't know. Previously, actually, they were targeting SEOs, like they wanted SEOs to use it, I think, to create content. From what I see now, it's more for copywriters. And I just found that the UI was so clunky and slow. So, for example, with ChatGPT, and I'm always thinking about productivity, I'm like, how can I do this in the fastest way possible? How can I get my team to do it? And I know that every single step added in any sort of process is going to cost me time, money, and my team's time as well. And so, for example, with ChatGPT or Claude or whatever, I can use a prompt that predictably and consistently, in one click, just by writing the keyword, gets me a really good, sort of content from the output. With Jasper, there's like loads of clicking, there's loads of waiting, it can be quite slow last time I used it. And as soon as ChatGPT came out, even though I'd paid probably about, I want to say 2 or 3K for Jasper, I just never used it again. Never used it again.
So you've got it there. The man's actually spent 2-3 grand on Jasper, and he's telling you to avoid it. So yeah, I to be honest, I think that I was a little bit late to the whole AI SEO party. So I actually never ended up using Jasper. So I'm actually quite glad that you're here and you've said that, because if I was here, I wouldn't know where to rank it, because again, you search up Jasper AI review and everybody's just trying to flog you their affiliate link. But I'm glad that you've actually stepped in. The next tool that we're going to be doing, SE ranking.
What's your take on it?
It does a lot of things. Like it's got keyword research. I'm fairly certain you can even track the Google Maps and stuff like that. I've heard good things about the Google Map rankings actually. And what else is there? You've used it a little bit more than me.
Yeah, I've used it for keyword clustering, keyword research. So it's kind of like, it's kind of in the middle between Ubersuggest, which is like 100% for newbies, I would say, free tool. And then you've got Ahrefs on the other end of the spectrum, which is like best data but unaffordable for most newbie SEOs. And then you've got SE ranking in the middle, I think, which is like affordable, but it gives you, keyword clustering, keyword tools, site explorer, etc.
Where are you putting it? Bearing in mind, by the way, SEMrush is in meh.
Like if I had oh yeah, this is a really good point actually. Where are you putting it?
I think we've been a bit harsh on SEMrush, mate. I think
think
SEMrush needs to go to OK. I think SEMrush needs to go to OK. And then SE ranking needs to go in meh. Would you agree with that?
I honestly, I would put SE ranking in like okay, but it's a democracy, and I'm a true Democrat, so I'm gonna go with whatever you choose, mate. If you go for meh, let's go for meh.
All right, let's do this then. Right, let's do this. I think that this is probably the fairest thing to do. SE ranking, we'll look at the pricing, and SEMrush will look at the pricing, and whichever's cheapest and whichever's more expensive, it'll depend, right? So if we were to go on the monthly plan for SEMrush, it's $139,
Which is like, that's quite a lot for a newbie.
and this is $44, right? Okay, so SEMrush going back into meh, the SE rankings going back into okay. The thing is, I still don't like the toxic link section on SEMrush. I'm so against it. And people think it's always a sales pitch, but it's actually not. Like the amount of people that have messed up their website by disavowing toxic links, and they've just completely tanked their website. I think that to me is the toxic link section on SEMrush is definitely in the avoid. That's why it's so low down.
I I was just about to say that too, actually. I think like the toxic link section, anyone who comes to me asking about that, I'd say, mate, just avoid that bit. Don't click on that bit.
Yeah. Sitebulb. Have you ever used it?
Never heard of it or used it.
Oh, mate, this is like. Do you know what? I've just recently signed up to Sitebulb again after not using it for like 4 years, and it's like it's really good. It kind of does what Screaming Frog does, but it's in a much more appealing, designed way. Like I'll load up the website and you can take a look at it and stuff. But it's just a lot nicer. Whereas Screaming Frog, it's literally just like it literally just looks like a frog's crawled your website and it's just screaming loads of data at you. I think that Siteball's really good. They have definitely won me back as a customer, and their pricing models actually, I think it might even be cheaper than Screaming Frog. But would I say that it deserves the GOAT category? No, I'm going to put it in class. I think that Screaming Frog, although it's not the sexiest UI, it's definitely like in the GOAT category. A lot of hardcore SEO guys that have like been doing SEO for like 15 plus years, they just swear by Screaming Frog. But Sitebulb is definitely a good runner up for that. Auto blogging. I'm not going to comment because I'll be biased here apparently. But what do you think of auto blogging?
I think it is class. It's class. Like, it's just everything about it. So much fun to create content with it. It's, before, well, I would say last year, if you look at the sites that I built, that ranked, it was just absolutely outrageous how well they ranked, and saves me time. Like, I like productivity, and you can generate content so quickly with that.
Okay. So you would put it in class and not GOAT?
Go is like, if it had been around longer, but bear in mind, like this, it's only been, how can I say it's the greatest of all time if it's been around since last year? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Like, that would be, but it's making its way up there. If we come back next year, it could be.
We'll do a follow up. I'm not trying to be biased, but I would put it in GOAT. But that's just me,
All right,
mate.
let's
That's
put
just
it
me.
in go. Let's put it in go.
No, well.
No,
So
no, 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 no. Let's put it in go.
there we go. You've got your full stack. If anybody wants to set up a proper website, Screaming Frog, Ahrefs, Pitchbox, Autoblogging, that is the 4 tools you actually need to rank.
To be fair, when you look at that, it's like, right, content nailed, link
Outreach and
building
links.
nailed, data and the analytics for the website good to go. And then if you need to audit the content, you got Screaming Frog. Like, that is pretty much every part of SEO done there.
That's the only reason I'm gonna. I was pushing it to be in the GOAT, but I am biased. Do you know what? It's my YouTube channel. I'm allowed to be biased. Link clump. This is one of my like. I love this Chrome extension. I don't know if you've ever used it, but you can just highlight things and like that's just copied now. I can just copy all those links or all those URLs to like a spreadsheet or whatever. I'm going to put this in class. Check it out. It's literally a free Chrome extension. Mailshake.
A few years ago, this was like class. But when when Lemlist came out, when all these other tools came out, you got Hunter doing the same thing, but actually generating the emails as well. I'm going to put it in the OK section, just because I can get a lifetime deal for a tool for the same price it cost me monthly off AppSumo, and it will do exactly the same thing.
I swear there's a few of these. I'm just trying to figure out like what would be the so you've got Woodpecker.
I would say Woodpecker is more for
Cold.
STTP. Like the send in via cold email and also send in via like SMTP.
Mm-hmm.
But Mailshake is more. It's kind of like Lemlist, I would say, or Hunter.io. Like, you can send email campaigns with Hunter.io.
Mm-hmm.
But if you just go on to AppSumo and you type something like Lemlist, or you type something like Mailshake, or you type something like Email Sender, you'll get a tool that does exactly the same thing.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So we will put in meh.
Oh yeah, meh are okay. What are you thinking?
I think Rush is a bit lonely down there.
Yeah, it's true.
Surfer SEO.
Controversial one. Controversial.
I'm going to take a look at the pricing. Right. Okay. $89 a month for monthly as well. The yearly plan's $69 a month. What you saying, G? Bear, bear in mind, it gets you, $89 gets you 30 articles.
Listen, the price has gone down a lot, hasn't it? Didn't it used to be like 8, 9? Didn't it used to be like $10 an article?
Um, I think it used
That's
to be
not the.
30. I think
That's
it used
just
to be
the hourly rate.
$30 an article.
Yeah, what happened there? It's changed massively.
We're going to need to do a pricing breakdown of this as well, I feel. So you've got phrase.io.
But Surfer can generate the content as well, right? Like I would never use Phrase to generate the content for me.
Can phrase not generate the content anymore?
It can, but it's
Is it not great? Right, okay. What's another alternative to Surfer SEO?
Surge Graph.
Surge Graph. I've never heard of that. What's that?
It's
Your cameras went off, by the way, but
yeah, just
we'll proceed. Wow, this looks like Surfer SEO. The websites look so similar. Um, let's see. Do you know what? I think we're probably doing a disservice to Surfer SEO by looking at pricing because I think they kind of paved the way for other content writing tools. Like they were probably one of the first writing tools that had the actual content score on the right hand side, to my knowledge. Um, I think they've done a lot of things pretty well. I think it. I think it's probably. I think Surfer SEO deserves to be in the class category. I think that if you have the money, it's definitely worth getting. Um, if you're starting off in SEO, it might be a little bit too expensive, and you might want to go with an alternative. That's my thoughts. What do you think, Julian?
yeah, I think that's fair. I ran a few experiments. By the way, I can't switch my camera halfway through recording,
Oh,
but
okay, that's fine.
with these experiments that I ran last year, Surfer SEO ranked really well. Super easy tool to use. Never heard anyone complain about Surfer. The only thing I hear about people complaining is maybe the price, but that's
It's
it.
kind of like Ahrefs, in it. It's like it's a good tool. They are probably miles ahead in comparison to other content writing tools. It's just the pricing. I don't think that pricing would appeal to a lot of starter SEOs. It's kind of like Keyword Cupid. Keyword Cupid's it's a good tool. It's just maybe not attuned to beginner SEOs because it's really advanced.
Yeah.
Also Asked. Have you ever used Also Asked?
No, never.
So Also Asked is owned by a guy called Mark Williams, I think. I'm sorry if that's not the correct name. Um, but again, it's kind of like a keyword chef. But it also groups together questions and stuff like that. Let me see if I can get an example. Oh, Julian's back now.
Back in the game.
So, like for example, this is what it looks like. Again, the user experience is pretty intuitive. Like it kind of groups together questions. So, like, how much should I pay for a leaf blower? And then it tells you like what questions are fairly similar. So, like, what is the deal? What is the deal with leaf blowers? Do leaf blowers work well? How much gas does a leaf blower use in an hour? So these could all be either on one page. Obviously, you need to do a little bit of digging and stuff like that, or it could be on several pages. So it kind of groups together the questions. I think for the pricing of Also Asked, bearing in mind it's like $15 or whatever. Um, monthly, $15. I think it's probably in the class category. I would probably say. Is there anything that you feel like you want to change, or are you happy with that? Are we locking it in? Are
Yeah,
we
I'm
gonna?
happy with that. I think we've done a good job there.
Right. Okay. So, by the way, if Ubersuggest or Jasper AI does want to sponsor the YouTube channels, I'll happily put you in the GOAT category. Just let me know. Emails down below. But that is our SEO tier list for tools. I think like what we said before, it does definitely come down to the budgets and stuff like that. So, Screaming Frog, Ahrefs, Pitchbox, Autoblog, and that's a really good start. If you've got the budget for all of them, by all means do it. A few other things as well, just to mention. With certain tools, you can also go on to like Fiverr and Legit and stuff, and you can get people to do that task for you. So, for example, if you're looking at, let's say, Ahrefs, and you're like, I'm not, there's no chance I'm going to spend $300 a month or 500 or whatever it is on the actual tool. There are gigs on Fiverr where people can run a certain task, so you can tell them, okay, I want you to do a backlink analysis for these free websites, and they'll charge you, let's say, 40, $50. So that is another alternative that you can do. But is there anything else that you want to add, Julian?
That's it, really. Good analysis there. Enjoyed that one.
Yeah, thanks for joining me. And then if you guys do want a free 50-minute consultation for your website, make sure to check the link down below. Also, the sponsor of this video is myself, so please remember to leave a like. Thanks.